Alright, so it's Monday morning now. It's the end of June, and I'm doing the final push to get the space ready for the first exhibition that I'm planning on doing in mid-August. And I kind of hit a metaphorical wall in getting this stuff together, because I'm running into more problems every time I take one step forward. I also run into new things. So I have help now. It's Colin. He's filming me now, and he's going to help me. We're going to try, the two of us, to get this ready for the first exhibition, which I'm really excited about. So anyway, and this is also while I'm teaching, and it's the summer quarter is really intense, and it's really a full-time job, so it's kind of hustling a little bit. So the first thing that I plan on doing now, and it's something that I didn't intend on doing, is to replace a board up there in the corner, because I didn't know it until I went up there to prepare it for painting, that the whole corner is pretty much like rolled out. So I have to figure out something. So I'm gonna get a piece of wood from there and see if I can replace it. I kind of hate to do that. It's like way up there. It's like 20 foot, 22 feet up in the air. So the good thing with having two people, I used to have been working on this stuff by myself, is I have also a second ladder, which isn't quite as tall, but I can set it up right next to it, and so I can have Colin then hand me tools, so I don't, like for every single item, I don't have to climb up and down this god awful ladder. Anyway, so part of the problem then too is, so apparently some moisture comes into that corner joint there, and so I'm going to have to tackle that too. And so one of the things that I'm planning on doing today, either today or Wednesday, depending on the weather a little bit, if you get clouds, like there's a few clouds coming now, I may push through in this corner, but it's right here we're in the blazing sun up until like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, when it gets shade here. So in order to tackle the moisture, I'm going to climb on the roof and double up the roofing material without like removing the original. I don't want to go into that project, which is way too big of a project. So I'm thinking I can remove the hardware, shove like a new sheet of metal roofing underneath, and seal it up then, and hopefully that'll fix the problem. And so I already started this, working on this front, like 3 weeks already, and it should have been done like it should have only taken me, I expected, like 3 days worth of work, but it's already 3 weeks now. So hopefully this week is the end of it, and I can then at that point move this big ladder like out of the way and start on the real job, which is finishing the drywall inside and getting the city over, or the electric company over, to hook up the electric. And in order to do that, I got a few little things to clean up before they probably even want to hook electricity up. So hopefully the city doesn't come to inspect, but I shouldn't say that on the video that I
either way.
So okay. 7th on the top 100 2021. That is still in progress, but I need to get, even though I'm in the middle of trying to get the studio ready for the top 100 2020 exhibition, I need to keep working on the top 100 2021, because that one is going to go to Ohio early in 2022. So I need to keep up with the paintings of that. It's a bit hard to concentrate on painting at the same time when I'm doing construction work here, but hey, such is life. Biggest challenge of all these paintings in the 2021 series is they're all double portraits. And the biggest challenge is always the break in like the middle. Just holding my brush against the break, I see that the break is not it's crooked. But so I've been like experimenting with like using like different ways of dealing with it. With like, you know, some elements feeding in from one side to the other. And I'm still kind of debating if I should continue this instrument. This is the picture of it, by the way. If it should go all the way like that or not. Let me just do it for now. I can always reverse that. I'm only going to paint a few more minutes. Colin is here now, and we're going to attack the facade of the top 100 studio. Sun comes from. Okay, I'm gonna leave it at this for now. Alright, so I just got this flimsy little piece of, it's really flimsy, but that's what's going to be for the time being, the window up there. Rather than replacing the whole window, I'm just going to stick in a piece of plexiglass that I had laying around. And I cut it to size and I went up there and it fits beautifully. So, use a little silicone and it goes up in there. And then, the rest of the front can be painted, and then hopefully, sooner rather than later, I can leave the second floor be and deal with the first floor, which is really the most important part. The second floor is just a little storage. It's a big giant mess. So, but eventually do something with it too. So, let's go do some work. You ready, Colin?
Let's do it.
All right.
There we go.
Good morning. It's Friday now, and I've the end of a busy week, and I was hoping to get the facade done, but I've changed my plans just because it's 9 o'clock and it's like sweating hot in the direct sunlight. I don't know how all these construction people that you see on the road, how they do it. They spend all day in the sun. It just wipes me out. So anyway, there's a couple of things left to do that are on the shady side. So that is to make a little overhang, a little roof overhang. I need to like build that little overhang to the side over there to be able to store the ladder, because I just bought this small 24 foot ladder, and I have no place to store it. So I'm just going to extend that shed that I built, extend the roof of it to have a spot for the ladder to hang. So we're going to do that, and that particular section is going to be in the shade in about 1 hour. And so I just made a little sawhorses in the shady part in the tent, and Colin is with me, and even though he was prepared to sweat his pants off today, I'm gonna keep him in the shade as much as I can do. It's just crazy, the sunshine, and I mean, I'm not doing anything and I'm like dripping sweat down, you know. Anyway, so there's a couple of things that I can do that involve shade, and hopefully in a few hours we'll get some clouds, because I do want to continue this painting. It's getting so close, this facade, to it completely being done, and then I can like move these ladders out of the way, and everything else that needs to be done is without ladders, and so that would be really nice. So that's the plan today. We'll see how far we get. I'll shoot another other video when we're about to stop, and when we're all like gross and dirty and sweaty then. So yeah, let's. So we'll I don't know. We'll spend the time wisely. That's all I can say. All right. So this is the side of the studio, and it's that place where we worked on just to be in the shade. We installed this roof right here, you know, built this little structure out of wood and put a roof on, extended the little shed that you see here that I had built before. Like I mentioned, this is just in order to put the ladder into. I have to rearrange these hooks that you see here, and then the ladder can hang. I still need like one more sheet of metal to finish this off, and then the ladder will fit underneath this roof. So I got my little shed area a little bigger. It makes the air conditioning that I put in the wall there, that I cut out that hole in the wall, also now covered up by, or covered up, it has a roof over it now, so that's how far the roof goes. Let's see if I can see the top. Anyway, so that's one thing, and let me now move around. Yes, the sheet that's waiting to be installed at that last part. So here, and so I did install way up there. I got rid of that rotten wood and I put a new block in there, and it didn't fit perfectly, puttied it in, but at least the wood rot is gone, and it, you know, it's not perfect, but it's going to do its job, and it's going to be fine for a number of years for sure. Eventually that whole board ought to be replaced. Then the painting is nearly done. We need to do a little touch up. Here's this side. On top is that little window that I put in a piece of plexiglass. Both these windows, they were boarded up. The city had boarded that up 10 years ago, before we bought that, as it not, you know, things not being up to code in this building. And now finally in the last like 2 years I've been little by little kind of picking my way at it. So it's getting there. Also done is this painting that you saw me working on earlier this week. So I did, you know, one of the things I was talking about in the video from Wednesday was how to deal with that brake. I straightened out the brake and I removed the extension of the instrument into the other panel, even though it's still there's still a ghost of it is still visible. So that's the progress so far, and I'll post this. I'll stick this video on for my patrons on Patreon, and I'll make another video next week. And I'll on Monday morning I'll pick up the work here again. It should be interesting. This door, one of the things for next week is this door will get fixed up a little bit and we'll get a beautiful green color. I think it's going to look good. And then at the same time I'll give this door a new coat too, with a green that is a little bit more vibrant than the original color of this door. That I also, by the way, put in myself, this door, as well as the windows to the side, the glass brick windows. It's also something I did install. Was that last year already? I think so. All right.